live new bod. And I believe that's the wrong, Richie boy. And now in the presence of greatness.
How's Tiago Alves on this?
What's he up to these days?
He's the champ at BKFC.
Oh, I know what he was fighting in that fight, didn't he? Eh? What the fuck?
He's a champ.
A champ?
He's
But
a
did
champ, mate.
Did
2
he
fights.
fight? Was it 2 fights? Was the first fight a title fight? No.
No, the first fight was against Julian Lane. Remember the guy, Let Me Bang Bro? Him?
Aye, that's the guy who's going to fight Mike Perry in it because it was scrapped at
That's
that
it.
commentary.
That's it. And then second fight was against the guy Ulises Diaz, I think his name is Uli Diaz. He was
I know
really
that
good,
name,
man.
I think.
He was favourite, and it was a good fight, man. You should, if you've not seen it, go back and watch it because it was a pure. Sorry, it's going to sound stupid, but it was a barn burner, man. The two of them were doing a few times, and then Alves finished them eventually.
Old fashioned slobber knocker, as fucking Big GR used to say. It's no GR, it is GR, isn't it?
That is, aye. Big
What was
Junior.
his actual name?
Jim Ross.
That mate, why did that not come to me, man? Fuck me. Mate, that was just as bad today. See that mad fucking word though? Fucking what website?
I never checked it today. I forgot to, mate. I was doing this to get my lunch and thought I'll go back up and do that, and I forgot, so don't say anything about it.
I think it's different because the word you had yesterday was different from the word I had.
Oh, was it?
Aye.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting.
The day, mate, I opened up, right, and I was like, what was your word yesterday? It was windy, wasn't it? Or something like that.
No, my word was...
What I seen windy in the back.
Oh, was the one... That was my first attempt. Right. It was a word with two... It was Abby. A-B-B-Y.
Oh, fuck, it must be the exact same, man. So I'll...
Oh,
you could still do it because it'll still go to midnight anyway. But, mate, fucking infuriating. I had 3 letters, right? I had the second, the third, and the fifth, right? All I needed was the first and the fourth, mate, and I couldn't get it. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I got to the last bit, right? And I was like, what can this be? And I was trying to think of words. What letters fit into the places, right? Because there's only certain letters can go with like certain words. And I was like, this isn't making any sense. So I googled a word, and it turned out to be something. Right. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to fucking chance this word. And I put it in, it was rang. It was 1 letter off, man. I was like, you dirty. Dirty bastard.
I'll get a wee shot tonight if I remember.
Aye, so it's actually good.
If it was different words for every person, then I was going to think to myself, if I fuck this up here on the PC, I'll try it on my phone. But I'll make my last attempt. So, but it would be good if it was different per device. You know what I mean? You could just rattle that a few times because it's quite good fun.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
But as I said, mate, like, you know, when you're reading like the steps of how to play it, right? So I've obviously got the green means it's correct and it's in position. Yellow means it's correct but it's not in position.
Aye.
But I thought I was playing at that point, so I wasn't really sure. So I thought I was looking above, going right. So that one, you know, the sample above, and it's got a green letter. I'm thinking that's in the right position. So what will it be? So I typed in something like that. So, like I said, I fucked up my first attempt, but I did actually get 1 letter out of it correctly. It's a good wee game, man. I quite liked it. I mean, I'd like something that was like a proper game like that. You can just sit and play all the time. So it's a good wee brain teaser.
I think there will be ones out there. But see when it was showing up yellow, I thought the yellow, like I didn't click the wee thing it tells you exactly how to play it, so I thought the yellow was meaning that's your letter there.
Right.
And I was like, cool. And I kept guessing with like there, then one was going green. I was like, why the fuck's that green? That one's yellow.
And you still got it though?
I still got it.
Nice, that's good, mate. That's impressive.
But
it's a good wee game though.
Aye, mate. Like, I think there's something wrong with my head, but because I'm sitting looking at my phone, right?
How could I tell you that?
Sitting looking at my phone, and I'm going, how the fuck can I not think of a 5-letter word that's got these letters in these positions? My head was like going blank, mate, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, I actually can't think of anything right now. I actually think there's something wrong with me. I'm like, is my brain not working right? What the fuck's going on?
Like, it's brutal. What we see when you're in the moment, it's like your fucking brain goes a complete blank on this.
Aye.
It's murder.
There's a game show on the telly. I think it's on kind of like midday. I'm not really sure what time it's on it. And it's the same scenario. There's like 3 sets of 2 people, and it's like spaces. I think it starts with 4-letter words and it goes to 5-letter words and maybe 6. I'm not really sure. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's called the same thing as that, and that's where inspiration came from and all that shit. But I like see when you're watching it. Like I was like, obviously it shows up on the screen the exact same way. Like you've got that letter and that letter's in the right place, and you've got this letter's in it, but it's not in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm shouting words at it, and I can't even sit there on my phone. Never mind it on a fucking telly in a game show.
You probably find eating out like you've got the kind of older generation that play these wee brain teaser games and iPads
Aye.
and stuff. You probably find there's hundreds of stuff out there like that.
Aye, man. I always wanted it. Is it Brainiac or something? You used to get
Aye,
for.
that was the big one for the DS back in
Aye,
the
I
day.
wanted that shit for ages, but never ever played it or anything like that.
That
Did you
looked
play it?
pretty good, that one. No, never did. But I knew people who did, like my man Manties and stuff like that were quite big on it when it was a thing.
Aye. I always
Um,
wanted it.
aye. I'll need to look into it, man, because there'll be stuff out there. Because if that's going to be, if, you know what's funny, mate? You know, you sent that over in the group, and then in work, a Teams message went out for one of the software developers saying just a
Aye.
link to that. So I
Was it?
don't know if
Aye.
it's something that kind of taken off. Aye,
Aye.
so when did you hear it?
I think it's popping, man. I was on fucking. Do you know how when you just open up see when you just open up Chrome, there's like trending searches underneath it, and it kind of just tells you what like everybody's searching on Chrome. And that was one of the things that popped up. So I clicked on it, and then people were posting it to like Twitter. But see, when you share it to Twitter, it kind of shows like in a Tetris forum. So it doesn't show you the letters or what the word is. It just shows you like sort of like the path they took and how quick they go to it with. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It was,
Again,
people were
that's just
saying,
how it's shared down.
they were saying word on. I was like, there's no fucking word on that letter. So I was like, what the fuck? I need to Google this because like there was hundreds of tweets about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I googled it and I went, oh fuck, give a shot on this. And then I end up fucking raging and got it.
That's
Then
a
sent
cool
it
wee
in there.
game, man. I'll date the night when we come after this. I'll definitely take a wee shot and I'll let you know if I get it.
But see, to have something like that, it just like done another one, and done another one, and done another one. I think you would get like bored of it pretty quick. Raging with one and the two, and you would just done. See, because it only gives you one a day. I think it's like I don't know. I think it may be better.
The rate that it's fed to you, is that what you
Aye.
mean? Aye.
Because you're choking to do it again.
Choking. Fucking choking. So at the time, remember Willie said that when we were playing Xbox? I can't remember what we were playing. And he was talking about getting raging at something. And Walkabout said, oh, I've not smashed a pad in a while. And Willie went, I have been choking to do it. Choking to heat it, is what he said.
That's too good, man. That's fucking too good.
Goes, it's a funny game rage, innit?
See, like, I never really got it. I did
I've
with
rarely
Steven.
seen you.
I did with Steven. Me and Steven used to play pro. We used to go fucking. Mate, used to be full of scraps here. It was that bad.
But that was because he antagonises you at the same time as playing it.
Aye. He used to be full of scraps, man. I remember one time we had like a mad fucking like a tiered sort of like shelf unit thing, and sort of had like things on it, and then it had like the PlayStation, then it had the telly above it, and then other things and shit. And I was sitting playing it. I don't know what happened, man, but one of these get raging and like pure pulled the fucking wire, and the fucking PlayStation came flying right out the shelf. I don't know if the telly fell off the unit and everything.
You didn't break it, no?
No, I didn't break it, no, thank fuck. I've had a few.
Was it the Grundig?
I don't know if it was that telly. It might have been. I think that telly might have been too big to go on that shelf unit.
Aye, it was quite a big unit. It was a unit and a half, wasn't it?
Aye. And what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Aye. I've had a few instances where, like, see, when you drop the PlayStation, I don't know if you've always had your fucking computer in the flare, so you have a PlayStation or whatever, and the disc was sticking it, and you would used to try and eject it.
Aye.
And when it came out, man, and your heart used to sink, you'd be like, oh my god, I fucking broke this. And you used to go in and like try and get. I used to go in with like a knife and try and pull it out and shit.
Aye, it's as if it's stuck in the feeds only hitting it, so it's just fucking in no man's land almost.
Aye, man, that was some weird shit. That.
There's a really weird. I don't know if it's on PS5 or I imagine it is, but seeing the PS4, there was a weird mechanism on it that see the tap. You know, you get the kind of fins for airflow at the top of it. You could take. There's a wee piece of the front of it that just clicks off by hand. You don't need to unscrew it. And then inside one of the fins, you can find a wee screw. It's a plastic screw, and that manually ejects the CD or the DVD or whatever it is you've got in the drive. Aye, so if it fails mechanically, you can still get it out via that.
And they must have had hundreds of complaints or something like that. People fucking them up.
That, for sure.
And you have to fucking try and think a way around it so it doesn't happen to people.
Think outside the box.
Outside the box.
Aye, so what have you been up to with your week getting happening?
Yeehaw. I watched the fucking Matrix the other night.
That's what you said. Worth a watch.
Like, I've been thinking about this, right? Do you know how obviously when like you watch a film, right? Like, do you watch? Do you like? Do you know how you go? I would watch that film again. Like, I wouldn't watch it again, but like it was a decent watch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Something you could watch once, I would say. You know what I mean?
Right.
There is quite good bits in it, and then there's like kind of cheddar bits in it, but I think they're trying to be sort of like cheddar because they're kind of older,
expected.
if you know what I mean.
Aye.
So I think they're trying
And
to do that.
The two guys who created and directed it, the Wachowskis, they went through a transition as well, weren't they? So the two of them are female.
Are they?
Aye, both of the directors. I think it's the directors and creators. They're famous, mate. The two of them, and they're like two guys with baldy heads, mate, and they went through a transition to female.
Both of them?
Aye.
Are they
You heard
twins?
about this?
No.
Aye.
The twins, aye.
Let me see if I can find it.
So I was thinking if it was two brothers, it might be a bit strange because a bit like twins have always got like mad things that are the same, aren't they? Like mad chemistry, fucking, I don't know, body chemistry things that are the same.
Let me find the history. So
you know your history.
Lana Wachowski, formerly known as Larry Wachowski, and Lily Wachowski, formerly known as Andy Wachowski.
I like how Andy's just went totally left field and didn't pick a same name with the same letter at the start.
Aye.
Or something like a play like it was me transitioning. I wouldn't be called myself Davina. You know what I mean?
Aye.
I think it's some mad pure.
Different name.
I go pure slut. I don't know what I would call myself. Just go full
slut,
tilt.
Did you say?
I go full slut, man. I wouldn't call myself that, but my name would mean that, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
I wouldn't be picking.
It's a weird conversation to have into it. It's not really something you would consider unless you were in that frame of mind where you were always thinking about it. But
what age
I
was it?
didn't really. I don't know, maybe 50s, something like that, 40s, 50s. Or not that old, to be honest.
There was
65 and 67, so aye, late 50s.
There was a lassie on the Joe Rogan like a couple of weeks ago, and I just clicked on it, but I didn't know anything about it or whatever. And then they were just talking, and she was like, "People say I'm transphobic, even though like I'm trans." I was like, "What the fuck?" She didn't look like a guy, she didn't sound like a guy, or anything like that. She was like a full woman, pretty much. Right. And she was saying that like she gets people messaging all the time about it because she's done like the full shebang, and it's like lassies want to be boys, and they go through like half of it, and then they get through like half of the surgical procedures and shit, and then they want to go back. Right. And it's just like, that's a fucking complete mess, isn't it? Like, how the fuck are you supposed to handle life after that?
Surely, I mean, it's not going to be easy enough for you, right, to consider it because it's not enough minds. But I mean, if you get to the stage where you want to go through, I don't know what they call it, gender reassignment surgery, and then midway through that you change your mind, man. I don't know. Obviously, it'd be a tough thing for somebody to go through mentally, but surely to get to that point, you'd be fairly set on changing it.
I think it's more on the lassies wanting to be boys than vice versa. Right. I think it's a higher percentage of lassies wanting to be boys than the other way.
Really?
I'm sure that's what I go for. I could be talking shit. Need to look it up, man, but I'm pretty sure it goes that way, aye.
I was listening to a couple of Rogan episodes recently. I listened to, there was a doctor on it, I can't remember, but he's somebody who's
that guy who invented that mRNA, I think it was again. He had COVID tie on, you see. I can't remember his name, but he invented that mad new jag or whatever. What did I watch it? Oh, I can't remember. I get like halfway through it towards the end, and it just like was just too much about COVID, man. So turned that off.
So I listened to that one, and I'm almost finished listening to I was listening to one today, but I can't remember the guy's name that was on it.
Is it that mad American general guy who worked for Trump or whatever?
No, Adam Curry.
Oh, right, that guy, mate. I put that on, mate. Did you see that guy? He blinks like every 3 seconds.
Oh, no, man.
I had to turn that off, and I was freaking out, man. It's like, this guy's about to fucking blow up or something.
I listened to like 2.5 hours of it, but the day when I was cooking,
aye.
You've got that wee Nest thing in my kitchen.
Aye.
If I cast it to that, it shows the video feed as well. So I was watching it, and that's the first time I've seen it. And I noticed the mid he was getting like a Jerry Shevlin kind of blinking.
Aye. Old fucking gold member.
Aye, it was a strange one. Another one I listened to was an Oliver Stone episode. I'm talking about the JFK assassinations, his documentaries and stuff.
Aye, I think I got like kind of halfway through that one,
That was a good one. That was a good one. I'm going to have to watch the JFK stuff.
It's a
Quite
bit wild,
interesting,
man.
some of the shit he was talking about into it, but it's all. It sounds like it's definitely got some. There's
Aye,
some
man.
stuff going on there with that.
Aye, man. Like it. There was like there was a period where I went through like watching hundreds of shit about it. And then when I tell you there was a show that came out and it was James Franco, and it's sort of like it's set about that, like the JFK thing, but it's a different kind of story to it, if you know what I mean. It's no about the assassination or anything like that. It's more about Lee Harvey Oswald and he's trying to stop him shooting, like firing the bullet. Pretty much, I think it's called like let me get this name because it's like a 1 season thing, and mate, it was fucking insane. And it's just like, I think it's the date that he got shot. So it's called 11.22.63. And basically what it is James Franco is like, so it was set in nowadays time, right? But it was out in 2016. So it would have been 2016. And he's in a diner. And you'll know the other guy that's in it. I can't remember say his name, see if you know. Chris Cooper. You'll know his face, but you might not know his name is that. So basically, they're in the diner, and I think that guy who Chris Cooper's playing a guy in it, and I think he's trying to go back to time travel to go back to stop the shooting, right? And it's in a diner, and it's a specific. I can't remember if it's a wardrobe they go into or a cupboard or something. They go into something and basically go back in time. But this Chris Cooper guy, he's dying at the start of it, and then James Franco goes back in time. And then it all plays for there, mate. But it's actually so fucking good, man. It's actually class watch.
112263.
Aye, it's
the date.
I believe so. I'm not really sure. Stephen King.
It was 100% 63.
Aye, it's Stephen King and J.J. Abrams. I think it's a book that get
what?
I get adapted.
Is that Stephen King story?
Aye.
Fucking hell, definitely check it out then, man. What an interesting character he is.
Wait, there's only 8 episodes it says here.
Right.
Mate, so fucking good. So fucking good. Like every see if you go through all the episodes, right? It's like I don't know, like what's the total rating on IMDb? It should tell me, shouldn't it? Like 8.2, and it said 81,000 people like fucking hanging in it.
83% right.
Rating it. Mate, so good, mate. Honestly, so good. And if another one, like another 1 season thing. You know the guy, you know this guy, no? I think it was 1 season. Let me just double check this. It's a program called Awake. You'll know the main guy that's in it. His name's Jason Isaacs, but you'll know his face if you don't know the name. But I'm sure that 1 season, 13 episodes, and it's about a guy who doesn't know if he's dreaming or if he's alive. And at the start, he gets in a car crash, and the one reality is we boys still alive, but his wife's decent, and the other reality is vice versa.
Right.
And the world start crossing in like the same, and like there's things he'll remember when he thinks he's dreaming to when he thinks he's away, and it kind of merge together, and he's like, how can this be this same world if it's different and shit? So he starts trying to figure out what's happening, mate. That was fucking class and all. 1 season.
Worth a watching?
Aye, 100%. Both of them were like outstanding.
I'll definitely check out the JFK one. That's sounds
check
good.
like watch a trailer for the Awake one. It is so good, but I would say if you're going to watch any of them, the James Franco one is so good.
Okay, I'll check them out then.
Fucking brilliant.
I will definitely have a wee splash. And all of these things, like see if I see something that's good or somebody says to me, check this out. It's like I need to sell it to Sarah in order to get the buy-in.
Aye. I think she would probably be more for Awake than the JFK one, but you never know. Awake's so good.
A bash. I'll give it a bash and see how it goes.
You say, look at this fucking shit on the television. That looks pretty good. You want to watch it?
I'll tell you what she's downstairs right now and what she's currently watching.
Aye.
She's binge watching a thing called Cheer. Heard of this?
I've seen. I think it's like a reality program about cheerleading squad or something like that.
That's it. Aye.
I went only
came on and she binge watched it, the first series, and now it's just come out again and she's hammering it.
Because I scrolled through like Netflix and it was like the main thing popped up and it was like a mad woman going tonto and fucking Wayne's man, she took one of the real acids. I can't remember what she says to her. But the real acid's like fucking maybe like 14 or 15 or something like that. She's like a 40-year-old woman. She's basically telling her she's got like a face like fucking thunder on her, man. It's pretty funny. Like you've been your face, basically, I'll say the Scottish version, it's like your fucking face is tripping you and it's been tripping you for fucking days and all that, pretty much.
Aye. But
An
this is just
American.
an actual person saying that, aye.
Aye. In front of every country now.
It's funny, man. It's a strange thing because obviously it's like people from a young age getting moulded into this thing, and obviously like the parents are a pure driving force for success. You know, like, it's the same
Aye.
thing you see these child actors and stuff. Can imagine how it would be for them being away. And like Harry Potter, for example, Harry Potter series. We watched through them again, all of them. Remember I was
Aye.
saying to you just at the Christmas there. And then it was the 20 years anniversary of the first film release, so they done like a get together. It was a 2 hour special, and they were all just talking about the film series and all the people who were involved in it. It was pretty good, man. Quite emotional, some of the stuff. But they
Was
were
that what
saying
that
like,
Return to Hogwarts was? I thought that was going
aye,
to be a film, but is it just like
aye.
a sit down?
It's just all the mate chatting about the filming and stuff, and it's them as they are now, and they're maybe giving me insider stories as to how things were going during it and stuff. Like someone was saying I was ready for chucking it and that kind of thing.
Aye.
But it's
Fuck's
like
sake.
it's pure mad. Like it's like when they're literally children, man. Like I don't know what year 2001, so they'd have been like 12. So I think
Aye.
the youngest of the three 11, and the oldest 13 when it started, and they were like obviously still studying and that, so they had to be taught during the filming it because it happened it just constantly on every year.
Aye. That's
And
crazy,
obviously
isn't it?
they kind of grown into the stardom that it is now. But it was a good wee watch, man. Love the Harry Potter series. Can't get off it.
The fucking, I was going to say something, I can't remember. We'll just move on anyway. See the fucking, Daniel Radcliffe in it?
Aye.
What, like, see the films he's done after that, mate? Like, the
Uh-huh.
weirdest films ever. Have you seen the, well, I've not seen it, but I've seen a trailer for it. It's called Akimbo, and he's got like two pistols basically like taped to
Mate,
his
quite
hands,
like
mate.
this, man. I want to watch that.
Mate, I was thinking that, I was looking at it, and I was like, this looks fucking shite, but like, going for Harry Potter to that, it's just like,
I know, man.
I don't know, mate, it's just like, what the fuck?
There's a couple of good films that are worth a watch, man. There's what was
Did
the
he not play
latest?
a dead body,
Lady
or he carried about a dead body with him, or something like that?
and
In a
what
film.
a Kimbo thing or something else.
No, there was like a film, and he was like, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if it was him or the wee weirdo for Lord of the Rings, but
The wee weirdo.
why did you take too many punches? That crap.
Oh man, that's so funny. Elijah Wood.
Aye. Right, hold on a
Once you've
minute.
taken a few punches.
Right, so if we go to Radcliffe, I'm sure. Was it Swiss Army Man? He played a dead body, aye. Pretty sure. And see the
Right.
boy that's going to play it's going to play the Riddler in the new Batman film?
Right, no, I don't know who it is.
Remember the programme, no, the Girl Next Door film, the Three Geeks?
Uh-huh. Yep.
See the one that kind of had the longer hair and the chin? On
Eli.
top of it? I don't know. Him?
Uh,
That's him who's going
is
to play
it?
the new Riddler, aye.
Holy shit, really, man? I
I
don't
mean, it
think
was in the.
I've seen him in anything for ages.
Remember he was in Prisoners with Jake and Jake Gyllenhaal and Wolverine. Remember? He played the mad. He played I don't know who was like a child mother or something like that.
No, can't remember.
Mind Hugh Jackman gets him in a building or something. He sets him on fire or something like that in Prisoners.
No, can't mind.
No, I'm sure he tortured him or something. I can't mind. Aye, but Swiss Army Man. I'm sure Radcliffe plays a dead body and that boy basically just carries him about, walks about with him and shit, and travels about with him in it.
Oh, he done a good film. You'll have seen that Woman in Black, the one that's like 10 years old.
Aye.
That's quite good, creepy. And then
Creepy.
there was another film that came out just a couple of years ago, or a year ago or something. Escape from Pretoria. You seen that?
No, is that like the World War one or something? He plays a Jew, I think.
No, he's in a jail in South Africa.
Oh, but I'm completely left field then, aren't I? What am I
That's
thinking
what to
about?
watch.
I'm thinking
I'd
about that wee
recommend that.
Jesse Eisenberg guy, I think. He played like a. It was like a World War Two film with him in it. And I think they're like Jews. And
Right.
they try and escape or something like that. I think it was that.
Right. Well, if you're looking for something to watch and you've not got any in your mind, try that Escape from Pretoria, because we watched it when it came out and it was really good, man. We quite liked it. Interesting film.
I've seen a trailer for it.
Aye.
Let's check it out. You want to check it out? Did you hear about this matchup, man? I just closed it by accident there. There was a guy from America who was up for what is it done again? It was fucking what you call that? Faces charge of rape, right?
Right.
So basically, he was facing charges of rape, faked his own death, came to Scotland, was in the hospital with COVID on a ventilator, came half it and get to jail, and he gets sent back to America to face the charges.
Seriously?
Well, how the fuck, mate? How fucked up's that?
So, sorry, what was the reason for him faking his death?
Because he was facing charges of rape, so he was wanted by
Right.
Interpol.
Right.
And then he somehow got out of here, and then he ended up in the hospital. Queen
Fucking hell, man.
Elizabeth fucking hospital, and
that's where Amy works.
I don't know.
Aye.
Aye, he was in there.
Fucking hell, man.
I didn't know, like you're saying here, that the staff that was unaware that it was on Interpol's red list. That's crazy talk, isn't it?
That's weird, for sure, man. That's scary shit, isn't it?
It was. That is mental. It just goes to show you, like, how many people have actually done that and get, like, away with it.
Aye, and they managed it, aye.
Like, that guy from Boston, that Whitey Bulger guy, I think he was on the run for like 40 years, was he not?
Who?
That gangster guy, Whitey Bulger, do you know who he is?
No.
I mean, Black Mass, the film, the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, what's his name again? Johnny Depp. And remember, he plays Whitey Bulger.
What film are we talking about here?
Black Mass. Johnny Depp plays a gangster, like Whitey Bulger, like they're from Boston. See the people that Dana ran away from that supposedly worked with, like Whitey Bulger and that.
Right.
I'm sure that guy was on the run for like 40 years or something. And they caught him in a car park and they bought me his house, went into his motor. Let me see, Whitey Bulger. You never seen that film, no?
No.
Johnny Depp's pretty good.
Is it good?
Aye. Let's see.
19 Counts of Murder.
I don't know. He must be like, I think he was something like mafia or something. I don't really know.
Organised crime boss. And an FBI informant.
16 year on the run. So 16 years, right? He was on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list behind Osama bin Laden.
Fuck's sake.
It's a good film, it? Johnny Depp looks like pure crap in it, but man.
Does he?
Aye, man. Horrible. Like, did you see, I don't know if you watched this film, I've not watched it, but Stephen watched it, the Tom Hardy film called Capone.
Aye.
Did you watch it?
Watched it when it came out right away, we were waiting for it, and it was pure disappointing.
Mate, it looks horrible in it, man, didn't he? Pure scary looking. Fucking
was making me... man, creepy eyes and all that.
Aye, mate, it made me look, I was like, I'm not watching this fucking one ugly bastard.
Well, I've just googled Black Mass Whitey Bulger and I see what you mean. It is a bit fucking creepy looking, isn't it?
Aye, mate, it didn't need to go that bad, did it, man?
Well, just another thing at Whitey Bulger, there's a fucking 1959 picture of him in jail for Alcatraz. Fucking Alcatraz, 1959.
Did they escape for there? I can't remember.
No, they escaped Alcatraz.
Is that what the tale is? Nobody can escape. There's pure cunts jumping on the back fence. I'm off, mate.
There's a thing I read. Sorry, on you go. You go first.
Talking about like people escaping prisons and that. You know who that John Steele is, don't you? The guy who gets set up by the police for the murders of the people in the house, mind? In like fucking 1970s or something like that. In Glasgow.
No.
Aye.
What, the ice cream murders, aye.
Aye, they things, aye.
Aye.
So you know, like that John Steele guy, like go to jail, and then he would basically get set up by him and his pal. Basically, go like Tommy Campbell guy. They both of them got set up by the police, and they were saying there was like somebody in the pub talking about it, and they said they heard them talking about it, saying they were going to set the door on fire or whatever. So the police went and picked him up, and then the police lied at the truth. Both of them kind of like admitted it when they were getting arrested. So they got charged with their murder, like 6 counts of murder or something. I can't remember for somebody over here in a conversation which didn't happen, and then the police making up what they said it when they were getting to jail. So while I was going through everything, mine like last weekend I was watching all the fucking Glasgow Crime podcasts and that.
Aye.
So I watched the Tommy Campbell one, right? Mate, I've never felt so sad in my life. The guy who done, let's say, that Tommy Campbell guy, who was like heavy old in this podcast, right? And he actually looked like he was on death's door, man. But he did die 6 months later, so he must have been kind of fucked or something, and he just wanted to tell his story. But then the John Steele, so I was trying to find, because the people, what he was talking about him, right? I mean, I want to watch that one. But so I kept trying to find the John Steele one, but Johnny Boy still kept coming up, right? And I was like, who the fuck is this? So I clicked on one, and there was like one on for like an hour or something.
Right.
And then I seen one on for 4 hours, so I was like, oh fuck, I'll just click this one that's on for like 4 hours, right? So like, there was like one part in a different location, then there was like a 3 hours episode, right? So I was like, fuck it, I'll just watch it. So I clicked on the first one. It was on for 4 hours, so they go through sort of like the first conversation, him and that Sean Atwood guy, right? And it wasn't, it was just people talking, right? So it wasn't really anything good. But until I got to like the second podcast, which I think was the first podcast that they done, and I was literally in tears, mate. Like, this guy has escaped like 5 different prisons. He's brought people out of prisons, and he's basically brought them back into prisons and shit. Mate, I swear to God, it was the funniest shit I've ever listened to in my life, man. The shit this guy used to get up to in the jail.
That's fucking bizarre.
Yeah, I've got to tell you one story, right? So, right, I'm trying to think. So he was in Peterhead jail, right? And then he was trying to break out of Peterhead jail. He got caught trying to break out it. I'm going to just skip by this bit because this is just like it's a full build-up story just for the main bit. And then so they end up getting caught for doing that, and then they go back in or whatever. And then so they're off to Glasgow, right? And you could save up your visits, so like people will not come to visit you, and then you could go to like a jail near your house, and then you could use all your visits there, and they'll send you back to the jail, send you back to whatever jail you were in before. So his brother John Steele and somebody else were getting sent back to Berlin so people could visit them. So he went to like the warden guy and says, "Can I go to Berlin with my brother and my pal?" And he's like, "No, you've used all your visits, you're stuck here." Like, I did. He's like, "Fuck that, well, I'm just going to go fucking mental again." He used to just do mad shit in the prisons all the time. And then so they end up walking out the room, and one of the guards says, "I'll sort you, don't worry about it," whatever. So he ended up going to Berlin with his brother and his pal, right? So they spend time in Berlin. So while they're away to Berlin, he's been preparing himself to like jump out the window, so he's managed to cut the bars, right? So he's cut all the bars so they're only hanging on by a wee tiny bit.
Fucking hell.
He goes like, "You're going to know by the time you get back that I'm trying to break out, right?" So word gets to him for people in Berlin that they've heard guards talking about him trying to escape in Peterhead, so they're waiting for him. They don't want the Berlin staff to tell them because they want to wait till they come back to Peterhead, so they can basically give them a down for trying to escape the jail, right? So it was like the 70s, right? So he knows this, like, in advance pretty much.
Okay.
So he's like, right, we need to break out of Berlin, because if we don't break out of Berlin, we're going to get fucked when we go back to Peterhead. So they like end up escaping Berlin, right? We're just going to skip to another bit, and they were like 6 weeks on the run. So they get, his brother gets picked up, and then he ends up phoning the jail, so if anything happens to my brother, I'm going to fucking kill the lot of yous and all that shit, right? Blah 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 blah. So he ends up back in the jail in Peterhead, right? And they free them. So they agree to like a deal, right? Because how they escaped Berlin, they must have had to help with one of the guards, and it wasn't up and all like talking to the fucking police and all that whatnot, sorting out all the shit. And he says, "Well, if we go back to Peterhead, they're going to kill us up there." And he says, "No, we'll make sure you're looked after." So they've got 3 cells that only a certain guard can go to, and so they don't get done in or whatever. So the 3 of them get their cells right next to each other. They all walk into their cell, and that Johnny Boy Steele's on the one that's not got a mattress, right? And he turns around to the guy and goes like that, "Where's my mattress?" He's like, "You're not getting a fucking mattress," and kicks the door shut, right? He's like, "I'm going to go fucking mental in here." He's like, he's pacing about his cell. He's like, "What the fuck have I got to do?" And he says, he started talking to somebody. He's like, he's got a battery off somebody. I can't remember the story, right? But he's like, "Fuck, give us a shot of your battery." And he's like, "What do you want a battery for?" I was like, "Just give me a shot of your battery." So he said he put a battery in something and hit a shelf. It was like a cast iron shelf, and broke it. So he started like digging away at the wall to the cell like next to him, which is his pal, and his pal's like, "What the fuck are you doing in that cell?" He's like, and so he tells him, he's like, "Gee's the battery." So he gives him the battery. He does the same thing, smashes the shelf. Right? He's like, "Right, whereabouts are you digging in the wall?" And we'll dig at the same spot so we can see each other on that. So they like measure the cells, so they walk for the wall to a certain point and like kind of guess what height. So two of them start digging the wall, then they get a wee tiny hole, start digging and digging. So he says, look, once you get like a big enough hole, you can just start taking all the bricks away that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So while he was doing this, he was putting the bricks like against the door and something else. So like if anybody heard what he was doing, they're trying to get in the cell. Like it would be a hard job trying to push the door, and the bricks would kind of stop it coming in, right? So while he was doing it, he's put like a bit of paper across like the peephole so the poles can't see in. So after he's dug a hole and all that shit, somebody comes to his cell door, right? I think they were shouting "steal" and chanting it. He's like, "You in there?" He's like, "No, I'm in here." And the guy's like, "What the fuck?" So he goes to the cell next to him, right? And he opens up the peephole, and his pal's at the top of the mattress, and he's lying at the bottom of the mattress. He's like, "I tell you, I'm gonna get my fucking mattress." And they had a bit of paper rolled into a big joint, because I know he was smoking it. I swear to God, it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life, man. And that's
Is
only
this
one
on a
story.
podcast? Aye.
Aye, mate, it's the
Was it?
funniest thing ever.
What podcast was it on?
I'll send you it. It was Sean Atwood's one. Mate,
Oh, was it? I would. Aye.
mate, the cunt is a fucking nutter. An absolute nutter, mate. It's so funny. Howling, mate, I actually came out of my room and I was like, what the fuck you laughing at? I was like, that's wee Scottish guy breaking out of the jails. Mate, it's so good, man. He's actually he's
I think it's quite interesting, to be honest with you. See the kind of Glasgow stuff, or even this like, Scottish crime stuff. There's
aye.
fucking so much it you would never hear unless you looked into it with these things. But it's like you open up it's like a fucking, you're going down a rabbit hole anytime you look into it, in YouTube or
Aye.
Google, whatever. There's so much out there, man. Like I think I might have sent it to you, and I might know of. But when we were staying at her mum's house, I googled for some reason. I was looking into like a murder that happened in Glasgow,
I
and it was like
remember you
60.
saying like a thing,
Did I
like a
send you the link
website.
to it? Aye.
Aye.
Did you ever read any? Did you ever go into it?
I was on it, I think, that night, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on with it, and I ended up just coming off it.
Well, I would definitely advise you to go in and read, because I was absolutely buzzing. Like every night I finished work, I was choking to go up the stairs and go back and read this and look into some of the stories. It was fucking mental, some of the stuff, man.
Aye.
But the gangster thing is good, but because there's so many, like the podcast thing, there's so many of them out there that are still talking. You hear stories about them and that.
Aye.
You ever remember there was a documentary we watched about 10 years ago? We watched it in Willie's house. Well, I say Willie's house, it was Vicky's house at the time. And it was like Glasgow gangsters and stuff. And it was so many different ones. They were all talking about stuff they had done and all that, and how they ended up in jail. And there was a wee old guy, Walter Norval. Remember him?
I know the name.
It was like an XY. It was called the XYY gang. He was like the first godfather of Glasgow.
Aye.
And he was talking about a street fight. He said he was the best street fighter in Glasgow at the time. He was only a wee man, but he said somebody was getting the better of him in the pub one day, and the cunt bit his ear off. No, sorry,
Fuck.
wee Walter was getting the better of this guy, and the cunt bit his ear off like Tyson. So he had only like one earlobe, and
Fuck's sake.
he says he get the cunt in the flare, and he says, I just sat and tapped him, and I pulled my knife out, and I said, "You'll no do that again." So I tried to cut his eyes out.
I think I've either heard it, like, I think I maybe heard that a few.
Aye. Some of the stories are class, man. It's just stuff you don't really hear about.
Like the Tommy Campbell one I watched, he done it with James English, and
TC.
mate, he was like, did you know how they just talk and they'll say like, what happened back in the day and all that? He says he was like talking about how like you've like changed like your mentality and all that shit. Because obviously, like the guy when he was younger was whatever. He's like, I
Aye.
knew like I'm alright, man, but if when I was younger, mate, he said it to me, I'd just rip your face off, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Aye.
I'll just rip your face off.
Did they seem like kind of mentally displaced? Was he mad?
Well, he
Did
says
they
he's got like
did he mad look
PTSD
in
and
his
that,
eye? Ah,
and
right, aye.
the way he was talking very polite, but he says when he was in jail, he just like read up on a lot of like philosophy and shit like that, and I think totally
Aye.
changed his mind. But He was in jail twice, that Tommy Campbell. He was in jail, and then he came out, and then they get framed for that thing. And that was the same with Joe Steele as well. Like, he was in jail, he came
So
out.
he already did a kind of criminal record then?
And their family, like their dads, were in the jail. John Steele's brothers were in the jail and that. So, like, obviously, that doesn't mean like you're going to be a criminal or whatever, but obviously there's history there with the police and being in jails and whatnot and shit.
Yeah, you've already got a record and stuff.
So like,
it's easier for something to be pinned on you in that case, isn't it?
Pretty much, probably what it was all about.
I've got another funny one to tell you, by the way. It just popped in my head there because we're talking about like Glasgow crime and that.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I tell you, it was years ago, man. I'm not going to go into a mad story, but years ago, you and I were in a taxi somewhere, and I was telling you I was watching a thing on YouTube about Glasgow crime and gangsters and that, and it was like a video for like the 60s or something, 50s, 60s, 70s. And I says it was a wee ginger guy getting interviewed, the wee Glasgow Ned, and the guy says to him, how do you feel like going home at night thinking that you may have killed someone when you hit them with your hatchet? And the wee guy's like, don't bother, I get a good sleep at night. Remember I was telling you about this? And you says, right, well, when I told you that, you went, I know your dad showed you. And you said your dad told you about that guy, because obviously, like, you hear these things but spreading across the city. But your dad had said that he'd heard stories about this wee guy being a grass. So I looked into it again because I found the old documentary. This is about a year ago. Found the old documentary and I was reading into it, and then I thought, right, I need to find out what this wee guy's name was and read a bit of history. But it turned out that I've got a book, right? I bought a book. This is going to get complicated. I bought a book. The book was written by the guy who murdered him.
What?
So this cunt went into his bird's house, and that ginger guy that said that in the interview was hiding in the cupboard. He just pumped her, and he found him and stabbed him to death. Apparently. But it was a mad story. I'll see if I find it, I'll send it to you. It's a good wee video to watch.
Imagine writing a book about something that you murdered.
I know, but I think the guy was in jail for murder and other ones, and he's one of these. I think he was like a kind of reformed Christian type thing, so he's changed his ways in that, and he became an author.
Like the guy who
the murderer.
Or the murderer, right?
The murderer. So it was. I've not read it yet. It's untouched, but it's
a strange one, isn't it?
It seems to be like when I ended up on forums and stuff like that, and going down that rabbit hole, and people are saying it's a good read, and he talks about that wee guy and all the stuff that they used to do and all that back in the day. But it's wild, man.
Like see every fucking like Paul Ferris. You know who that Ian Blake McDonald is? You know that name,
Aye.
Like all these gangsters, like even that Tommy Campbell, that John Steele, whatever. Mate, they've all got books out.
Aye.
Who was the first gangster to put a book out and I thought, do you know what? I want to bring a fucking book out. You know what I mean?
I think the Create ones, see, because it's such a cool thing, like people pure love all that.
Aye.
You can write your story anyway, you know, and people want to see it.
That's true. Have you seen any of the Ferris ones with James English at all?
No, I know you said you were watching one. I tried to put one on, only got like 10 minutes into it.
Aye, mate, see the third one? Right, so there's obviously 3, right? And it's kind of breaks down to sections and whatnot, right? But in the third one, there was like the taxman was after Ferris for something, right? And they kept coming to his door and all that, and keep getting a phone call threatening him that he's going to go bankrupt and they're going to seize all his assets, not right? And they totally pissed him off, right? So like he was getting a lot of hassle. The door for them and like phoning, and his wife ended up moving out the house. Had a farmhouse somewhere, right? So his wife and that moved out. Right. And I don't know if it was his oldest son or his son, if it was his only son, I can't really remember. But he ended up like he kept telling his son to go away because he felt as if he was going to do something to some. No, like he wasn't going to kill his son or batter his son or anything like that. He was going to take it. He's going to take it out on someday, and he didn't want his son to see what his dad was capable of, right? So he said he kept getting phone calls. He's like, do you know what? See, the next cunt's coming to my door. He's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one in them in and make one in them watch, and then make that one go back and tell everybody else what I done to this guy. So they don't bother me anyways. He's like, I've had enough. I'm going to take them out. So he hides like obviously CCTV around his property and all that.
Right.
And he's seen 2 people walking with suits. And he's like, alright, fuck it. He's like, this is the day. So he doesn't tell you what he had, but he grabbed a weapon. And he opened the door and he's like, what the fuck are you wanting? And he says, I don't know if he said this, but I could be making this up. I'm pretty sure he said he was about to pull the weapon out and he seen they cut a Bible on me, and it turned out to be 2 Jehovah's Witnesses. He's like, I nearly set about them, so he's like, I invited them into the house, and we were talking away and that, and he's like, and I pulled the weapon and put it on the table, and they said, they just looked at it and went, oh, it's alright, that's not for use. I was like, oh my god. What the fuck, man? That's crazy talk, isn't it?
Mad. Aye. I bet he's got some stories to tell us. Like, you talk to people and they're always like, I don't know if he's really a gangster or he's really, it is what it looks to be, but the involvement that he's had with other people, there's something definitely there.
There was a strange one. There was a mad strange bit, and I didn't think he would have said this, but he did. He says, like, he'd be sitting in his pal's house, and he said his pal said had the most impressive gun fucking stash collection that he's ever seen.
Right.
And I think his pal went to the shop or something. He's like, let me see this. And he opened up a package, and it was like a pistol in it, and it had a silencer in it, subsonic rounds in it.
Right.
He's like, so I was just standing in his hall, and I picked up like Yellow Pages and the fucking that. He's like, and I put it on the stairs. But as a target and shoot it, and he's like, I shot it, and he just went, he's like, that sounds fucking class, man. So I done that, man, just done another 2 shots. And he said his pal came back in, he's like, what have you been doing? Because you can smell like the gunpowder or whatever.
Aye.
He's like, I just fired a few shots into the Yellow Page. He's like, oh no, what he done? And he went in his cupboard, and he said the guy had a leather jacket in his cupboard he used to wear when he was younger, like running about causing fucking mayhem and all that. And he kept it as a keepsake, and Paul Ferris put 3 bullet holes through it. They kind of kept it for years and years and years, and he just shot 3 holes in it.
Seriously?
It's fucking funny as fuck. I didn't think you'd have said that live one there, that he just fucking started
talking
shooting
about
that
messing
gun.
about with guns and stuff. But again, at the end of the day, like people go through sentences and stuff, and then they don't feel like that's a thing removed that can't be proven. So it's pretty much just hearsay, I'd imagine. So it's just a story to be told.
It's pretty crazy sounding, man. I never expected that to be as open as that. Did you hear that voice clip? I know that guy who said he was obsessed with hash. I know.
Aye, it's funny. Aye.
That was another Sean Atwood one. It popped up at the side. It said Glasgow smuggler. And I was like, what the fuck? And I clicked on it. And it's a pure well-spoken guy, you know, mate. And I swear to God, man, that was fucking insane and all. I was obsessed with hash. Literally played it about 4 times, mate, and then I decided to send it to you.
Aye, it was the right choice to make, to be honest with you. I get a good laugh out of it.
That's what you said it, man. It's pure. I was obsessed with hash. As if it was something like people go, oh, I was obsessed with motors and I wanted to find out everything about motors, man. He's like that. Because when I think of hash, right, I think of people, I think of like 16-year-olds think they're Bob Marley and all that. I think they're going to save the world and smoke a joint, you know what I mean? It's like pure juvenile shit. And that's because it's pure. I was obsessed with hash. I just don't know, man. It just got me, man. I was like, this guy's a fucking fruitcake.
Yeah.
But his podcast story about shit he done, man, that was a bit fucking wild and all. Crazy.
There's always going to be history with these people, man. Like, see what was the Godfather's name again? Arthur Thompson.
Aye.
Like, see the story of him and his son and all that, man. Some of that shit's wild.
Like, I don't know too much about their side.
Aye. Did you see the Wee Man film that came out a while ago?
Aye.
That was quite good. But it was like a bit in there that I'd heard about before, where he apparently was wrecked out his nut and he was in a pub and he had a wee bit of paper and he was flashing it saying, these are all the people I'm going to get killed or something.
Aye.
Paul Ferris was at the top of it and then he died like a day later, he got shot dead or something, I don't know, something like that.
The fucking, I'm not sure, I could be gone wrong, it could be a different story or whatnot, but that happened in the film, right? But that supposedly didn't happen in real life. I don't know if that's true. I can't remember where I heard it, but I think it's through that Ian Blake McDonald guy, because he talks about Arthur Thompson a lot. Or it may have been Ferris, I can't mind. But I supposedly that didn't happen, but I don't know if that's just them saying it to try and cover something up that's no something, if you know what I mean. Like, you never know with these people, they're also lie bastards. These fucking cunts, so... so do you know, like, there was a bomb put in that Arthur Thompson's motor?
Aye, that's right,
and it blew up his mother-in-law.
Is that who it was at the go? Aye.
Aye, man, because Arthur Thompson used to have a driver.
That's
so somebody put a bomb under the passenger seat because that's where Arthur Thompson would have been. But his driver pulled out, so he drove his mother-in-law home, and it got to like they rigged the bomb to the indicator, so it got to the end of the street to turn. and then blew that passenger side up, which then obviously killed her. And then I think it broke his legs and shit.
Fucking hell,
It
man.
probably didn't kill like everybody in the motor.
I know you'd have thought so, wouldn't you?
A weird one, isn't it? Like when I think you like an explosion, you're gonna think right, everybody cutting the motor's gonna be dead, but I don't know. It's a weird one.
That was. I'm pretty sure that was in the movie, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. Not sure. And then there was supposedly that Arthur Thompson guy. I don't know how long after it was, but they found out who had done it, or wrote into Live Sunday or whatever, and he rammed a motor or knocked two people down, and the two cases were going through court at the same time, on the same week, and they were both not guilty or something like that. They never got found out for anything. Weird fucking situation. It's crazy listening to the stories, and then see when they're talking, right? They'll say, "Aye, then I done this," and then see a minute later they'll be like, "I allegedly done this." Like you just try to cover up with something you just fucked. Oh, you
allegedly.
Aye, man. But they're not the brightest people. I think Paul Ferris is pretty. I think he kind of knows what he can and can't say for what you hear. But that guy Ian McDonald, man, he still seems a bit like a loose cannon.
Is it?
But I've listened to a few of his, and I think he's been drinking on some of them and all. And I think he's a coke addict and all. So I think he just talks. I think he just talks like he'll just keep talking and talking if you let him. I hear some of the shit he says is a bit fucking crazy, man.
Aye.
It's a fucking in-depth conversation about Glasgow
man, what the fuck,
in a UFC podcast, isn't it?
Glasgow gangsters before. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Aye, man. I literally spent my Saturday and Sunday that weekend just playing Candy Crush, mate. I don't know why I chose Candy Crush, man, but it was easy. I was just like, I got the app on the computer and I was just listening and I was barking through it.
I think it's just one of the things that's easy to pick up and be addicted to, isn't it? It shows you why it's so big and so many people play it.
Aye, man, I'll need to send you that Johnny Boy's deal, man, but because that was literally the funniest shit. Like, he's not talking about like murdering people and all that. It's just like escaping from jail and causing mayhem in the jail, trying to get out of jail and that. But it's just some of the shit, man.
And
like,
mate,
like it got that bad, mate. That the people in the jail like to him. I don't know what to do with you, Johnny. It's like no other prisoner will take you. I phoned another prisoner. I said, I'll take 3 of your worst prisoners off you if I can just give you this one. Like, no chance.
Trade off.
He was like, nah, I don't want him. I know. Honestly, man, too fucking good.
Sounds like the Scottish version of Charlie Bronson, doesn't it?
Aye, he's nuts, man. Let's see that. I don't know if it was. I can't remember who had stories, but I think it was Ian. Like McDonald was talking about Bronson. There was somebody talking about him. They were like, they were in the same prison as him at the same time. Like, do you know how you like when you're in prison, like you get shipped to different prisons all the time? Like,
just random.
Like 3 years here and you do 3 years. Like they've been like, shipped everywhere down England and fucking everywhere and that. I'm sure he was in jail with somebody. I don't know if it was the dad of Craze. I'm not sure. But aye, man. Fuck that life though.
Madness.
Total fucking madness, man.
The Craze is a good one, man. That's an interesting story and all. I take it you've looked into all that shit and stuff that happened with him.
Never looked
Some of
into
this shit's
Craze.
wild, man. Like
I heard they used to melt people just to make them disappear, man. Like,
I've heard that and all, like the acid stuff. Was it acid they used or something?
I like that, man. It's fucking metal lava looking shit or something. I don't know.
There's a couple of good films. Obviously, the old one for the fucking 90s is good, and then Legend, the Tom Hardy one. You seen that?
I've not seen it.
I would recommend watching that, man. That's a good watch, mate. Easy watch, easy viewing.
Aye.
That's a good one. There's a funny bit in it, Liam. Now, Liam does some good voices sometimes.
Aye, he's pretty good, mate. Liam is pretty good at fucking voices.
There's a scene in it where one of the fucking Looney Brothers in the pub, and a cunt walks in and pulls out a rolling pin, and he goes, "What the fuck are you gonna do with that? Bake me a cake."
Class.
That's good, man.
Rolling pin, mate. Fuck getting set bit with a rolling pin, but
no.
nasty fuck.
But aye, we've went a fucking tangent about gangs and stuff
A
like
big
that, so
fucking tangent, aye.
aye, well
A
said,
big
mate.
fucking tangent, I'm seeing that.
Well, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, isn't it?
Aye. Where did they even come from about talking about Black Mass and into something?
Couldn't tell you where it started, mate, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I don't know,
Black
bro.
Mass. You were talking about the guy.
Oh, in fact, you see, where have I got his name already? What's his name? Prince Andrew, aye. Got like all
Aye,
his like royal titles fucking ripped away
aye.
from him.
He's been stripped.
Aye. Like it says he's got to like face court as a private citizen.
Aye, just as a standard person would.
But is that like, do you know how you obviously when you think of these things, right, you go like that, right, cool. They've obviously stripped him his titles and all that shit, right? But is that for a specific reason? Because why did they not do it before then? Or would they wait until it got to this point where if it was going to go to court, then you're fucked? Or because you're
Aye.
because it's kind of like you're guilty already?
Aye, so maybe
Or,
like, they were hoping that they could get away with it and then they would have just left things as they are. That
or
type
is
of
it,
thing.
if, I don't know, like, it seems like they could, I don't know. You always think there's a motive behind something, but there might be like an advantage of them no being like that, but I wouldn't think there would be, you know what I mean?
Well, you never know, mate, and at the end of the day, you never will know. But
Nah, aye, that's
speculation,
true.
man, your brain obviously goes to a place that thinks that's not right.
Aye.
It's natural.
I hope he's getting I hope he's getting like, what do you call that? Like when you get like left out or something, or you get chucked out or something. Not disbanded, but what do you call that?
I know what you
What's
mean. I just
another
can't get
word
it
for
all.
being left out in the cold? It's like something. It's like something that happens to you. You get like chucked out.
I know
Put
what you mean. I
together an
just can't
S.
get the word myself.
Is that an S? No, suspended.
Um,
It's in my head. I can't get it out.
I can't get it either.
Segregated? No.
No. Well, segregated could count as, I suppose that's just being separated and held somewhere.
Aye. Anyway, it's a
But
fucking tadger.
no. But I'm just going to nip for a pee, mate, right? Is that alright? A pee
Batter
break?
in, mate. Batter in.
Just
I'll try and hold the fort and talk about absolute shit all. What can we talk about that today that's here? What can we talk about? If anybody does listen to this, they should definitely check out that podcast. Johnny Boy Steele and Sean Atwood if you're remotely interested in it. Oh, so funny, man. Right, let's see. We can have a look at some UFC stuff. What we got? I tried going to UFC website earlier on, it wasn't working, but we're back up and running. It looks like we're back up and running. Right, let's have a look. Oh, that might be Reggie Boy back already. It was a quick pee. That was a bloody quick pie.
That's me. That's me back.
That was fast, man. Was that a dribble or something?
No, just a quick one. I'm obviously busy, mate. I had to get fucking back.
Piss in the pot.
Busy, man. I've got a wee
Man,
bottle beside me.
I've got like, just to go off topic again, like I got see in Aldi's there's like mine tell you get that king chicken kebab thing. Yeah, usually half it with Stephen. Every time I eat it, mate, like I think I shit myself, man. And I was thinking, man, see during this I'm going to end up fucking having it around the toilet, but I'm doing alright. I was trying to squeeze out what I could before I came on.
Oh, is that what you had to do?
Aye, man. So good.
I know you told me about it a while ago and I completely forgot about it, but I'm going to have to get back on that track and try that because it sounded right up my street.
Aye, there's two the day. One's piri piri and the other one's butter chicken.
Right.
I prefer the piri piri one or the butter chicken one.
Have you ever had a butter chicken curry?
No.
Game changer.
I think is that the South Indian thing?
No, it's just it is an Indian curry, but it's just like
I thought it was that South Indian chicken garlic chili or something you get.
Oh, that's amazing, man. South Indian garlic chili chicken.
Aye, I thought that would have been
so
that
nice, man. So nice.
So nice.
But I am Sarah's going out next week, next Saturday, I think, with a couple of pals for dinner. So,
is she?
I'm going to get myself a wee kebab or something like that.
What are you going to order, man?
I think so. You see that place that we me and Molly
Be
get
a
kebabs
bucket
there
of
last
kebab
day.
meat, fuck's sake.
That big thing, aye, one of them again.
Fuck's
That's
sake.
my go-to, man. That's my go-to munch.
That's a bedtime munch, that.
It's solid, mate. You need to lie down after it.
That's a big
I think
job, next day effort, man.
the best I've done is about 50%. I've never get any more than that yet.
Just don't need the full thing, man. That's just asking for trouble, man.
Nah, it's too much.
Too
But
much.
it's a good munch. But what's the weekend plans? You get much on? Before we
Yeah.
get into the MMA stuff.
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
Don't think I've got anything to watch. UFC starts at 9 tomorrow, which is good, so
Aye, that's a wee one, isn't it?
so that's good. But I'll say this now, right? See the time tomorrow comes, I'll be sitting right, it'll be like 9 o'clock, 9:30, and I'll just be like lying in my bed, I'll put the tablet on, I'll be on my phone, I'll just be like trying to find shit to watch or look at or read, and I'm just like, and then I go, fucking UFC's on. And then I get up and I miss like 4 fights and all this.
Aye.
So annoying, man. But I'm going to try and take a mental note that it's on at 9 o'clock.
Set an alarm.
We could also do that, and that would make a lot of sense, that, wouldn't it? I bought like a wee desk calendar to come so I can write shit on it, like, so when I can just like look at it and go, oh fuck, that's on the night, or that's on the night. I can see watch this on this time. Because my head's like a sieve, man, it's getting worse.
Oh, well, I use phone reminders for quite a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. Aye. Like if there's something I needed today, right? Say for example I had to go and book something.
Aye.
I'd put a phone reminder on for a certain time and it doesn't go away until you put it away. So anytime I hit my screen I see it.
Right.
That's
I'm sure
quite
I tried
helpful.
that with like my first iPhone I got, and I was just like, fuck this. I
Didn't
don't know
last
what
long.
it is. See, trying to like, do you know how like you can get like Google Calendar or whatever, and you can update it, and it's got like an hour by hour basis. So like you could like say you're working between 9 and 5, you can go right working between 9 and 5, and then just say you wanted to go out for dinner or whatever, or you want to go to pictures, you could put that in a time slot, or you want to go to gym, you put that in a time slot, and all that shit. It's good writing all that out, but see if you forget to check it, you fuck. You know what I mean? It's just like whatever, man.
These things are amazing, mate. But see when series take that type of thing, you're talking about a total readjustment to your life and getting used to checking something. So
Aye.
you need to check that like religiously in order for it to be followed properly.
Aye, man, I would need to get it tattooed in my horn or something, just so when every time I look down, I go, right, cool. It would need to be like right in front of my face, because there's no way I'm getting into apps, no this shit. You know what I mean?
I know. And there's an interesting thing. I read a book. It was like this is going to sound stupid, right? But it was like a well-known IT professional writes a book on time saving and the best way to do things.
Aye.
And he basically says he does things as a force of habit to the point where it becomes automated. Like he doesn't have to think about doing it because he does that many things he forgets. So say for example, like when you got up in the morning, you brush your teeth and have a shower. He's like, I'm trying to get certain duties in my day to be almost like a shower and brushing my teeth. Whereas a date without even thinking, it's just a necessity.
Aye.
He had an interesting take on rewiring his brain to get the most out of his day.
See,
That's
like, when I do something on autopilot, that's when I nearly start putting like the milk in the cupboard and the kettle in the fridge and all that. You know what I mean? You're like, mate. I poured like a glass of juice out, mate, and I went into the biscuit cupboard and took sweeties out it, right? But I think I had something I can't mind. I had to put the glass in the cupboard to reach up the tap to get the crisps or something like that, right? And I walked away, mate, and left my glass of juice on the bottom shelf, went into my room and I was like, where's my juice? And I went in the kitchen, I was looking for it and I opened the cupboard, mate, and it was just sat next to the sweeties and all that. I was like, what the fuck?
that's I've done a few things like that, and the main one I can think of was making a cup of tea and I try to put the kettle back in the fridge.
Aye, mate, you go like that and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what the It's obviously just like wires getting crossed, because you know you need to go in the fridge for the milk, or you need to put the milk back away in the fridge, and it's just like you grab that and you go and you're like, what the fuck? I don't know if that's a problem or if that's just
No, I wouldn't say
a
it's a
flaw
problem.
in
I think it's just because
human life.
your head is you're thinking about stuff, so
Aye.
it's occupied elsewhere.
I feel like my head goes like 200 mile an hour and I go like 4 mile an hour, and I just fucking, it's like I'm trying to catch up and I just do stupid shit and I don't think. I don't know, mate. I really don't know.
I think
I
everybody's
don't feel
different.
all there on the head.
Could I tell you that again?
I certainly don't, man.
That's what makes things interesting, but everybody's that wee bit different, isn't they?
Oh, aye, mate, we heard about this Russia shit.
What Russia shit?
So before we came on here, like supposedly Russia is setting up to go back into Ukraine again, like an invasion,
Fuck.
and like there's been shit floating about saying in America saying that Russia's going to set up like a false flag to attack their own troops near the border, so they go into Ukraine.
Right.
Ukraine has went under a cyber attack today on all the government websites and that. You can't go into them and shit.
Okay.
But that's this is I don't know if this is the start of something or whatever, but we'll find out later on. Mate, I remember
Fuck,
sitting in
man.
Woolies. I remember sitting in Woolies, and I don't know if we were drinking or what we were doing. And on the news, mate, it was just mind about 5 years ago or something. They went into Ukraine or Crimea or whatever you call it. Remember?
Aye.
I
Aye.
remember
Aye.
just watching the telly, and it was just like a 10-second clip on the BBC News or something like that. It was like a helicopter steaming through, and it was like showing pictures of people running and shit in tanks. I was like, the fuck is this, man? But like, nothing ever really came of that. But I don't know what's going to happen now. World War III or something.
Well, there's a chance of something kicking off. One of the podcasts I listened to, one of the Rogan ones, I'm sure it was. Who was it with though? Fuck knows. It might have been the. It was the guy. See the guy who's the director who done the JFK stuff.
Aye, aye.
He was talking
Stone
about
guy.
obviously. Aye, Oliver Stone. He was talking about the Russia trying to put nuclear missiles in Cuba, mind, in the 60s.
Aye.
He had stories about it. When he was talking about this, Siggy, he was talking about what's happening right now in Russia and Ukraine and stuff. And he was saying that there's something today where um, that being conquered. I can't remember what it was. I don't want to say, and it just sounds stupid. But I would recommend going back and listening to it because it was an interesting read.
Aye.
There's
Aye, mate,
something
it's
to it.
crazy.
There's
Aye,
never me saying,
it's just a lot of stuff here talking about the cyber attack, but and then America saying that kind of they're trying to set something up so they can go and invade them and shit like that. That's some scary shit, man.
it's fucked up, innit? I don't like that kind of shit.
Oh, no, the Russians, mate.
No, man, I'd like to live a wee bit longer, to be honest with you. I've still got a few things I want to get down in life.
Aye, man. And then you got big Boris Johnson fucking partying all the time.
Oft.
That guy's full totty, man. Man.
Just reminds you of the Tropic Thunder, the old line for Tropic Thunder.
Belter!
That's a funny, that's a weird one. We'll see how that pans out, to be honest with you.
Aye, well,
I can see him fucking doing everything in his power not to have to resign.
I apologise, mate.
That's it.
That seems to that seems to be like the thing right now. Just say sorry for it.
Nah.
You know what I mean? You just
It's
like obviously there's people out there that never abided by the rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that when you're running the country. You know what I mean? You kind of need to play by the rules if you're running the country.
Well, there's a thing. Some people live by the saying, "It's easier to seek forgiveness than approval."
Aye.
So if you have to go and get something approved to do it, it's going to be more of a challenge than just fucking doing it and apologising afterwards.
Aye. It's definitely works in situations, and I wish I kind of lived by that, but I don't think you can get away with that when you're running the country, though. You know what I mean?
I know.
Fucking crazy.
No.
Crazy motherfucker.
Shall we cover some MMA stuff, mate? Because I think we've been about an hour, maybe even more talking about this.
We can certainly try, aye. We can certainly try. Did you see what you probably would have seen because it's been like 3 days when you get Masvidal and Colby going to fight, which is good, man.
That is good.
I think now and again, do you know, like they were like tight as fuck, right? And then Colby started acting like a wido, and then every cunt hated him out anywhere. Then he went to the gym and all that and shit. I wonder if they're probably do, right? Because the way they talk about each other and all that, but some in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, nah, you can't just probably just fucking at it. You know what I mean? You could just be at it, aye, mate, because the two of their careers exploded. You know what I mean?
Aye.
And
it was weird, man. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Like, I think there is maybe some history there, to be honest. I kind of believe the bad blood with us.
How bad can it be, though? You know what I mean? Like, Colby kind of takes it. There you go.
see like he's bringing up his family and his wife and all
Aye.
that, man. It's
So it's
like
got to go on. Piece of shit father and
madness.
all that, and he's
Aye,
not married to this person, he's married to this person, he's not divorced, and
aye.
then he goes at Pori and all. He fucking says you and your bird with your
Louisiana,
fake titties and
Louisiana
all
fault trash.
that. It's like
uh,
obviously like Colby everybody knows that Colby's doing, you know what I mean? But it's like how much do you like all hate each other, you know what I mean?
I know. It's fucking madness, isn't it? Because I don't know if you've seen it, but like I don't even they would have obviously not been training together at the time. But in fact, it might even have been. It might have been that long ago that I was watching this. But there's footage of Colby and Masvidal in an apartment just messing about, like
Aye.
kind of grappling,
Aye.
and Colby is just ragdolling him, as you'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously now he talks about he used to fucking throw him about the place and all that.
It's quite believable, but I'm not like if you're talking
That
about
is.
like a wrestling standpoint, you know what I mean? It's like
That is.
I assume that's the way it's gonna go because Masvidal's no fucking much of a wrestler, is he? But it's gonna be fucking insane. I
It's
can't
going to be
wait
a
for the
wild,
presser. I can't
wild
wait
build
for
up
all the
that.
build up, man. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so
Aye.
good.
That will be an interesting
That'll
one
be,
to say the least. Fight.
man.
It will go, to be honest with you. I think it's. I read a thing that said that Kobe's a sizable favourite, so I mean that's what I expected right after that. To be honest with you,
100%, aye.
because
Definitely.
it'll be a weird fight to watch, man. Because Masvidal's pretty decent when it comes to his gas tank and stuff. He's not. It doesn't really seem to be that bad. He keeps a good bit of gas, but Kobe's on a different fucking level. To be honest.
Aye.
And
100%.
bringing that game of wrestling as well. You don't really see Masvidal in a match where he's getting challenged when it comes to the grappling side of things. So
Nah. Like, if I'm just going to bring up Masvidal's record, right?
it's like fucking 32-12 or something like
Uh, 35 and 15.
that. Fucking hell, is it?
So, right. So, like, obviously, like, he was always like a middle of the pack kind of guy, wasn't he? Then he took a bit of a rise. But
Aye.
it's just like I know he's obviously big, right? Because of the way he acts, he doesn't give a fuck about things and all that, and the way he fights is
Mhm.
exciting and shit like that, man. But I don't know. I still don't know how he's as big as he is. If you know what I mean. It's a
Aye.
strange thing with in MMA in it because like I'm never know that I was ever like a boxing fan or anything like that, but people get shat on if they had like 2 losses in it. But you've got people in the UFC that records are stinking, man, and out and anywhere they become like, a big massive name. You're like, what the fuck?
I
It's a
know.
bit crazy, isn't it?
It's mad, but again, it's the Diaz thing. You know, it's like the fucking
Aye,
Diaz paradox, man. It's just because he's a mad bastard that's got like this attractive personality that people just want
aye,
to see.
aye. That's
And
it, man.
when he fights, sometimes you're like, Jesus Christ, he's wild, man. He's like gas tank for days. And then sometimes he fights and you go, Jesus Christ, man, this cunt is evidently easy to beat.
Aye. See, like you fought Till, right? And like, would you say
Mazda.
like I Masvidal, right? That was in
Uh-huh.
2019.
Yep.
He knocked him in the second round, right?
Yep.
So I'm saying this pure confidently, but I'm reading this off a shared dog, right? So he knocked him out,
Right.
and then the Askren won,
Hi.
and then he fought Diaz. It was like kind of like I think it was maybe like the Askren one that kind of like put him up, and then Diaz kind of just made him that bit higher, if you know what I mean. I don't think the
Aye.
Till one done much for him. Obviously punching Leon after it probably made him bigger than
Aye.
knocking Till. You know what I mean?
Aye. I think the Till one was quite a big one, to be honest with you, because he was written off. He was written off getting into that fight.
Aye, but
But
like no fight wise, but I mean in like as a stature, if you know what I mean, like the full
right.
package, like being like
Aye.
popular as fuck, like being considered to be like a good draw for pay per view or whatnot.
Aye. Maybe not at that point. I think the Askren thing was a big one.
Aye,
The backstage thing with Rocky at the end of that fight was probably bigger than the fight itself, to be honest with
aye,
you. The Till fight.
aye. And then
It's
just
an
literally
interesting one.
asking the document in 5 seconds, bang done. And Askren's like the biggest shit talker. So
Aye.
like he dragged a lot of people to that. And then obviously
Aye.
the
Aye.
Diaz fight just kind of sort of like just kept him on the like transcending him up in it.
Aye.
Aye, that's probably why.
It's funny how things transpire that way, like you said, because see, for Masvidal, man, I used to like his fights, and the times that he lost, I'm like fucking razor close some of the fights, man. I even
Aye,
gave him decisions. It was one event, 2015, I think it was, and he lost a split decision to Al Iaquinta, and it was for me, he'd won the fight, man. It was clear cut, and it lost me a couldn't. And there was a few other ones. There was a few questionable decisions after that and all.
I love
But,
Alman.
aye, he's a cool wee guy.
He's retired
But
now.
aye, that's right. Aye, but he's businesses and stuff like that. He works in real estate and that. So I don't know
I think he
in
still
terms
trains
of like
people.
his fighting career. Aye, he will do.
Or he's
But
like
his
no
fighting
trains
career, I
people,
don't know.
but real long go on it.
Aye, he'll be part of that gym
Aye.
forever, man. He'll be a staple in that gym. Aye, Masvidal's an interesting one to be honest with you. Like I see the attraction, I see why people want to see more because he's exciting. He's got that gangster persona about him
Aye.
and the beef thing and all. But the Colby fight, man, that's a really good one to look forward to.
It's got to be Colby's what in it. It really has to be. Like I can see
Aye,
it. I can see it being like 85% to like 15%. You know what I mean?
aye. It's Colby's going to be a big favourite surely.
I watched
Anytime. Aye,
uh, the Weasel's video about it, and he was like talking
aye.
about it and shit, and he was saying like fucking if Colby gets reckless, he'll probably get caught, but he hardly gets reckless, but he does sometimes and shit like that. So I was like,
Mhm.
maybe no, maybe he's got like a puncher's chance or whatever, man. But I don't know. I think Colby's got it.
There always is the chance for something to happen, mate. It's a fight at the end of the day, isn't it? And you kind
Yeah,
of, depending on who you are and who you're facing, you sometimes need to put yourself in the way of danger to get an opportunity.
aye,
Like if you're fighting a wrestler, for example, Connor could be right. The only way that he was going to get in if he took a chance and caught him with something.
aye,
Because if you're just being cautious at the takedown all the time, then you're going to get beat. Because at the end of the day, you can't compress fucking a lifetime worth of wrestling in the space of a fight camp. It's impossible.
aye, vice versa. Aye.
Aye. But it's a good fight, man. I'm really looking forward to it, regardless. Just even the build up to it and the madness.
Aye,
And
build
then,
up.
the walkout in the first round, the first minute, man, that by your legs are shaking and everything.
Aye,
Fucking pure nervous wreck.
aye. That's what you're after, man, innit?
It's weird that.
Really, what you're after. I'm trying to think of what other fights get signed recently. I think it's pretty much certainty that Leon is going to fight Usman for the title next.
Well, Dana's come out today and said it's 100% happening.
See, I heard that right, saying it was 100%, but I don't know who he said it to. But then, like, there was a BT Sport one, and that Adam Catterall guy was talking to him, and
Aye,
he's like, "That's all Leon's fighting Usman next," and he kind of went, like, kind of tried to stumble past it, but I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe I picked it up wrong because
right.
there was going to be like a UFC in London supposedly if
That's
everything goes
right.
well with the COVID shit and that. But I don't know if he was asking, is it going to be in London the title fight or is it going to? I can't really remember, so I could be talking about my ass, but it was one of the two. But I think it probably was going to happen. But if you
Aye,
like, I remember ages ago where you say watch that guy's like animated videos of the UFC is it
aye,
Mohammed or
aye,
Mo G? I can't remember
aye,
that guy's name, right?
aye.
Mate, they're amazing, right? And see when he started doing 2 minute ones, right? Because it used to be like 50 seconds and that, and you used to just put it on when it started, it finished pretty much, and it was funny.
Aye.
Then he put it up to 2 minutes, mate, right? This just shows you how bad my attention span is. I stopped watching them, right? Because I was like, fuck off, I'm not watching fucking 2 minutes. It used to be like 50 seconds.
Are you serious?
Mate, I'm being serious, right? I took up your disliking to it. I was like, fuck, I'm not watching that anymore. Because it was good just to watch one and then you could flip to another one and another one, you'd be half wanting something else, right? But I started watching them again, as you probably know, so I keep sharing them in that WhatsApp group.
Mm-hmm.
And mate, have you seen the Leon Edwards he does in it in the animated? No,
Nah, don't think so.
mate, he comes out of nowhere all the time, and he goes, "I deserve the next title shot." It's been 9 fights in a row, mate, and it keeps happening all the time. Like Dana will be arguing with somebody like another fighter, and he'll pop out of nowhere and go, "That's 9 fights in a row," and Dana will punch him at the scene and all that, mate. I swear to God, it's the funniest fucking shit ever. And obviously it's been talked about the day that he's going to get a title shot in it, and like there was I think it's comments on the Weasel's like video for it because he
Aye.
talks about it, and people underneath it saying they should thank that Mojahid Fadai. I can't remember the guy's name. Wish I could say it, but I can't. It's like Hoffy's plus should go to him because he's got him the fight because he keeps putting him in it, and I keep saying it, and
Aye.
he keeps saying it, and he keeps saying it. It's so fucking funny, man.
He's broken it down.
Aye, mate, it's so good. There was one like a week ago or something. In fact, no, it was just a couple of days ago. It was when the Colby and Masvidal fight get announced. It was Dana and he's getting like a board, and one fight says Masvidal Colby, and underneath it says Leon versus Lesnar. And it's basically just to get him shut up. And he goes ahead and they're in the octagon together and all that. And then Brock smashing him. Then he jumps and kicks him in the leg and wins and all that. And it's supposed to be like Dana greeting and shit. Mate, it's so fucking funny, man. That's the one.
Aye.
If you see me writing in titanium shin bone at all into that
Aye.
group,
Is that what that's for?
aye, mate. Like Connor comes in, right? And when it's like a special move he's doing, it's like see if he's annoying some kind of he wants to do something, or like Dana shouts something, right? He
Aye.
goes like titanium shinbone and kicks people right out the scene and shit like that, mate. I swear to God. The guy's creativity is unreal, mate. Unreal.
Aye. I like when he's got McGregor in it and he goes, now that's the sound bite of McGregor going, Dana!
Aye. And he
But it's
pops into the
the
scene, he's got one
shooting.
shoulder up there, and he's got one
Aye.
leg with like a fucking a board in it or something like that. Weird as
Aye,
fuck.
man. Some of the stuff's hilarious, isn't it?
Right, man.
The
The
MMA
guy's
one's
unreal.
funny, man. Like as soon as a fight or a situation happens, the place just fucking explodes with people making memes and saying funny shit.
Aye, man. Like
It's too good.
memes for days, isn't it?
It's very
It really
good.
is.
It's a funny place.
Mate, see if you get a meme made about you
Aye.
and it's like bad or good or whatever. You must know deep down inside that you've actually made it, even if it's taking the piss out of you. You know what I mean? You must be like,
No.
Hunt's actually doing this, and like it's just gonna spread and spread and spread, and everybody's going to see it. You know what I mean?
Aye. Have you seen the wee guy who I can't remember his name. It's like an African dude, and he's got his two horns up, and he's doing like a face as if that's ridiculous. But if you actually watch his memes, it's like people doing stuff, but they're making a simple process look convoluted.
No, I
So
don't
say
think
you've
so.
got right, I'm just going to make something up, right? You've got
Aye.
somebody and they're making a fucking origami elephant, right?
Right.
And it shows you it's like a guiding video. So say you've got like a minute's Instagram video, and the
Aye.
guy's taking like it takes 25 steps to build it, and then it cuts to this guy, the African dude, and he does it in like 2 or 3 steps, and then he does a face as if why are you making it so difficult?
Aye.
This guy gets sacked for his job and had nothing, mate, and now he's a millionaire just for doing this meme.
What the fuck? That's
Mad.
class. There was
That's
like a
mad.
just to go sort of the same scenario again, right? There was a guy who worked somewhere similar to B&Q, right? And he used to mix paints, but he put blueberries in the paint and mixed it, right?
Right.
And it made the colour or whatever, right? People liked it or something, or he wanted to sell it, or he brought it to his bosses or something like that. And he ended up getting sacked for something through the paint, right?
Right.
Can't remember what happened is, but then he started making. In fact, I think he was making TikToks about it, and he gets sacked because he was making TikToks while at work or something like that. And now he's massive because he does mad shit with paint now. It's like it's fucking crazy, isn't it?
That would have never happened if he didn't get sacked, man.
Aye, crazy, fucking
It's wild.
crazy, madness,
Living
man.
in a
But
time where you can make money for doing anything, mate, to be
aye,
honest with
that
you,
is
in the
one.
digital
Yeah.
age.
That is mad, isn't it? Like,
That's
see if you
crazy.
go out with the. Obviously, people have got good ideas, right? So if somebody comes up with a good idea that goes online and does it, they probably it'll catch on. Well, it might not go viral and catch on, but they'll probably find like a niche market to do it or whatever. But you just get these random ass people that just upload something and they maybe just like it and they just keep uploading it just so maybe like 5 people can see it. And then you go like 500,000 people are seeing it and then they're making a living through it. They must be like, yo, what the fuck, mate? Imagine if I didn't pick my phone up one day and just record myself doing this. That it just happened out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And people are probably out there right now trying to force things to happen.
Aye, that's when you're not going to get it, man. It's the
Aye.
forced, isn't it? It's, you need to get the kind of real reaction to things. That's what people want to see.
Aye, man, it's all about realness, isn't it? I mean, that
Aye.
man's fake shit, not sheen, bro.
But you never know, man. You could make a fucking video like we done. There's videos on YouTube who has the stupid things like you wrecked,
Aye.
and we're holding your arms and making you dance and it. Like you never know, man. Like that's fucking 12 years old. Somebody could watch it one day and before you know it's sitting in like 120,000 views, and you're like, what the fuck's happened here? Now just like something out of the blue.
I know, it was fucking madness. I hope I don't see them, but well, they are in case you want to see them. To go back to UFC, right? See, I'm not sure there was like I think UFC put up. You may know the guy because you watched the Contender series, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a baldy guy with a beard. He's fighting on the card this weekend, lightweight via.
Lava Claws. Aye, Beatrice.
Aye, that guy.
Aye.
I watched like have you seen like his sort of like videos that put up on UFC channel on YouTube a couple of days ago?
No, I think it was a day. Something got uploaded the day, but I've not watched it yet. I
Was
seen
it
it
the
was
day?
uploaded when I was working.
Fuck mate, Deather just
Is it
murdered
good?
into. I didn't know the guy, but I just put it on anyway, and
Right.
it kind of just tells you about like.
That's see the Scottish guy that trains with Rob Whiteford.
Aye.
That was him that knocked him out.
Was it?
In Contender.
Right.
That's
The
who he
video like
is.
kind of tells you about the contender, then kind of tells you about his life and where he's from, and then what he's doing now and where he is doing and stuff like that. But basically, it was pretty cool what happened to him. So he came to America. So basically, him and his wife, and it either had one win at the time or they had two wins. So he came to, he knew, like, he wanted to fight, so he had to come to America to learn how to fight. And I think he's a pretty good fucking boxer.
He's that kickboxer. He's that a kickboxer. He's dynamite, man.
He's like, so I need to go and learn wrestling. So he went to Team Alpha Male.
Right.
And I think Team Alpha Male have like a program that you can like pay into, so you can get sort of like an experience to train with people that do MMA. So I think it's more like for like a fan thing that Team Alpha Male do just to make money for the gym. Right. So he's turned up and he's like, I want to train here. He's like, cool, it's going to cost you this much or whatever. So he goes, gets money, comes back, pays the money to Uriah Faber, and then Faber sees him training, goes like that. Hey, we're going to give you the money, we're going to give you your money back, and then we're going to train you and all this shit. So basically, they kind of like took him into the gym. So he was paying for an experience, but he realised that he was better than like a fan, if you know what I mean. Just wanted to be in amongst people. So gave him his money back, and then fucking started training him and shit. So I was being his manager now and probably take money off him for fucking training and all that shit. But I thought it was pretty cool story, so I'm looking forward to watching him fight, man. He looked pretty nasty in the contender, but his fucking hands were nasty shit, man.
He's good, mate. He's good overall. I would definitely recommend going back and watching that video at least, just so you get a feel for it. But he looks pretty good. He's an interesting character, so I think that's why they're pushing him a bit.
Mate, I just clicked on the UFC website. It gives you like a breakdown of the full card, and you can click into the card, and it'll take you the fight, will take you into the individual fight, and it'll hit you with the stats and shit. The guy's fighting is called Dakota Bush. His nickname's Harry.
Fuck off.
Dakota Harry Bush, mate, and he's leaving a hairy guy. Fuck's sake. He's got he's like
Harry
general.
Bush.
Dakota Harry Bush.
Oh, mate, got to like it. That's good, man.
That's class, man. That's class. It did say lightweight, but it's saying in here it's like welterweight. What the fuck?
Alright, no,
am I tripping? It says lightweight bout. See when I click in it, it says based from 170, so it must just be like a typo or something. Maybe that's what they weighed in it. No, surely not. That guy, like the Eastern European guy, I believe he is. It says 171.20 pun. But it said everybody made weight today, so.
Aye, interesting.
Strikes landed per minute, 7.5. Fucking
hell. I go back and watch that fight, mate. It was a good one. It was a good one.
I'll check it out, mind you. It does seem like a class cunt. I'm definitely
just in a full side note, I just see the wee meme guy was talking about the wee African dude that made millions. Just go see if you look into the general chat. I put a picture in him. You'll see it and go, oh, him. You see it everywhere.
I don't know.
You not seen that before?
I don't think so.
Fucking hell.
Don't think so. Maybe has he been doing it for a long time?
I don't know. Maybe I've seen him for about a year. Maybe I'd say.
Right. I don't recognise it.
Why? That was just.
It means when a guy's like police are after me. That guy.
That'd be weird, dude.
He made tons of videos. Probably a pigeon and shit. A fish or something like that. There's a fish man or something like that.
It's pure stupid.
It's mad, this man.
But with the fights that are happening tomorrow night, did you want to talk about many of them, or you want to talk about a select few? What did you have done, Henton?
I'm going to be honest as I can here. I literally never revised anything. I had a quick look at the card. I've not really pointed anything. I've not really wrote anything out. The only reason I got interested in that fight because watching that, and then did you watch what is that program that Dana does with Matt Serra and that? Looking for a fight? You watched that yet?
No, I seen it was uploaded again. No touched it.
So there's a guy on it's like the undercard main event, shall we say? he was on that card who's then fighting, so I'm interested in watching him fight. I know. And then obviously you've got Court McGee fighting. That guy just looks tough as fuck in this picture, man. He's got like a shaved head, big fucking inflated ears, man, and a big hairy goatee, man.
Who? Court?
Aye, man. He just looks like a younger version of the guy. Is it Gene Hackleman or something? What's the guy who trains him? John Hackleman?
John Hackleman. Aye.
Gene Hackleman's a fucking. He's an actor, isn't
he? Gene Hackman, is it?
Aye, that's it. Aye, Gene Hackman, aye.
Yeah.
He pan-breed. He was old as fuck, wasn't he? Years ago.
Look, so is he?
Don't know. I don't think so. I've not heard anything.
91.
I knew you'd be old as fuck. Charlie Rose was fighting and all. I don't mind watching that guy fight.
That was a late. I think he was a late fill-in as well.
Was he? He fighting TJ Brown. I'm not sure who that guy is. There's a lot of people in this card I don't know who they are. I know some of their faces and that, but
yeah,
I don't know too much.
Take some fighting action anyway, wouldn't you? Just for something to be on.
Aye, 100%. Aye.
There's a good fight on it at flyweight. See, Brandon Royval. You know that?
Aye, see that? See, looking at that guy's face, mate. He looks like somebody, and I can't get who it is. If you know what I mean.
Aye.
And then I'm going to say this. I'm going to feel quite shady for saying this, right? But like, obviously, when I was scrolling through the fight, obviously looking at the fight cards, and I was like, right, cool. And I said, that guy looks like something I don't know who is. And I scrolled down to the next one. It's Caitlin Chikagin and Jennifer Maya fighting. And in this picture, right, this Caitlin Chikagin looks like Goro from Mortal Kombat. I don't know why, man. She just does.
The help your tied back.
Aye, mate. She looks like Goro, man. She get the big cheekbones and shit. Sorry if you ever hear this. I didn't mean it. Was it her? Was it not her Twitter to get pure porn bashed or something like that?
Sure it was her. Aye.
She's like, still me, like, yeah, but who's going to hack Caitlin Chikagin's Twitter?
No.
I mean, it's not as if it's Conor McGregor.
One of the easy ones to get.
Aye, that's true. Aye. Or you might get with some of these mad obsessed fans that fancy her and that she doesn't respond to them and they pure go full hack mode.
That's it. I just kick it into gear.
Because obviously, like being a woman online, right, is totally different from being a guy online. Like, if you take like a guy fighter, right, maybe he's not like the best fighter, but like people like nobody's gonna really like bother him and that. But if you get like a woman fighter, there's always going to be guys out there that pure fascinate that person, and doesn't matter how good they are at fighting or whatever. There's always going to be like mad creeps out there that'll fucking message them and all that shit. So you probably it's probably more chance to happen to like a woman as a guy.
I would say so. Man. There's creeps everywhere.
Aye, you see fucking McGregor's pub get petrol bombed and there was pipe bombs outside it. What the fuck, man?
I seen something. It was just like a comment on Instagram or something saying his old man's ties to the IRA are finally catching up on him. It said.
Fuck's sake.
Don't know for the
surely not, man.
Just saying something.
I know this guy, this heavyweight guy. I know Jake Collier. I know that name. I know his face. I know.
He's fighting him, isn't he?
Yeah. Chase Shelley. I don't know. I don't believe I know who that guy is.
You know his face at all.
I'm looking at it right now. I think I did, but I'm not 100% sure. But aye, that's true. Aye, I'm sitting skipping by that. Like, I don't know if I've seen any Giggins fights, but seen bits and bobs, and obviously I've seen Calvin Kattar get his head punched in about 6 million times with every highlight video on it. That's Max Holloway, so.
With the
sure good.
That was going to be a good fight, man. I'm sure it. The Giga story's a good one because I'm pretty sure he get choked. He get choked by a guillotine or something like that, or a real naked choking contender series a while ago.
Right.
And then when he hit UFC, he's undefeated 6 or 7 fights in a row.
Really?
But his kicks are deadly, man. He's a kickboxer by trade. Like he's had 50 odd or 40 odd kickboxing fights at a high level. Majority wins and finishes. But it's not as if like you can watch people and they're flashy as anything. It's not as if he's not overly flashy, but he just does everything with perfection.
Aye.
And his punches are always perfect. Kicks are perfect and all. He's got good hands, good power. He can change stances. So like if somebody's circling and trying to move away from him, he changes stances and throws that body kick, the Giga-Kick. But one of the people that he fought recently before Barbosa was Cub Swanson.
I just seen that then. It was like absolutely killed him.
Finished him about a minute. I think it was about a minute into the fight.
Aye.
but you could actually it was in Vegas, and it was like an empty arena at the time pretty much, so you could hear everything, and you actually heard the scalp with this kick hitting him right in the other, and
Oh.
you could hear Cub going like that, and no breathing.
See getting a hit like that, man, it's fucking nasty, man.
Aye.
Not good.
But that's a good fight, that, man. It's an interesting one. The favour is on the side of Giga, but
Aye.
I think Calvin's boxing is fucking amazing. This is the best boxer in the UFC chat again, but
Aye, man.
his hands are wild. He's like literally so good. He's as close to being a pro boxer in MMA as you can be, I think. Like just the way he holds his hands and throws them and stuff. They're always in the right position. His combos are perfect, and he's in and out pretty quickly. Good power.
See that side of the clip? The fucking famous clip, man, that Max Holloway shouting I'm the best boxer in the UFC, man. See what mate, I actually die inside a little bit every time I see it. It feels pure cringy and pure childish.
Aye.
And it's so far away from being childish, if you know what I mean. It's obviously two of my fucking scrapping, man, but I don't know, man, it just feels, I don't know, just a wee bit inside me dies every time I hear it, man. And I think what makes it worse than all is Dan Hardy's in the background, pure fucking losing the plot.
Aye. Aye, famous Dan Hardy, man. You see him in the cameras and he's standing up and all that.
Aye.
That's one you see quite a lot. You see him with he's standing getting the heat set off nearly, pure having a heart attack.
It must be nuts being a commentator, but innit?
Aye, being there and actually reacting to it. I mean, it's bad enough just sitting in your house watching it. Half the shit that comes out your mouth watching it, you know what I mean?
I'd love to put you on the fucking desk, man.
Just be screaming all the time.
Are you and Joe, man? It'd be a pure match, man. You would be man, it would be like do you know how you get like sound frequencies, man? Like Joe's pure like low to mid and you're like mid to high, man. It would just be like perfect, man.
I'm looking forward to. There's a couple of fights on the card. Obviously, the Santa, the Slava Claus fight, the heavyweight fight, Chukagian fight, the main event. So I'm looking forward to it. A wee bit of action back aside here, see what it brings. But that main event's an interesting one. I think it's definitely one to be watched.
Aye, like see when Holloway put out the Volkanovski fight, and then they were talking about putting like Zombie in. I think Zombie's got it now. And then that guy Giga, he put like a tweet out saying, "Imagine what to fight like Korean Zombie, pretty much." Like, who else the fuck's going to fight? You know what I mean? But obviously, mate, I've just been taking a dig. You know what I mean? Just trying to get his name in that circle and all that shit. I know that, but I don't know.
So wise move, isn't it? But at the end of the day, he's about to headline an event anyway, so his name's up there.
Mate, I was on. There you go.
Sorry, just to add to that, I was watching an interview with him the day, pre-fight interviews, and he was saying again, he was asked about that, and he's like, I just don't understand. He's like, he's fighting zombies, fighting a guy that's already dead.
Class. Gotta love the zombie button, yeah.
He's a good fighter to watch, to be honest.
Aye. Do you know
what?
I need to, like, this is completely off topic again, right? But mind I wrote in the chat, like, people were saying Edge is better than Chrome. And it was like better for whatever, like if you're running multiple tabs and shit, like it's better for resources or whatever.
Aye.
One thing that Edge doesn't do, see, like, say you type in, I just like right now, right? I just typed in Francis Ngannou, so I read a tweet to you, right? It'll give you every other social media like account. It'll tell you everything about him, but it won't give you his Twitter on the front page. There'll no be a wee icon next to his Facebook and all that. So Edge just does not promote anybody's Twitter. And Twitter's like the main hub for fucking things, and it'll give you everything else, like fucking Instagram, everything else, but no Twitter. I don't know why.
That's interesting, isn't it?
There must be there's some weird shit going on.
Behind the scenes.
See if you scroll down, see if you just write Francis Ngannou, right? Or you write anything in. I think if you write Twitter, it comes up. But like if you see if a Celtic game's coming on, I'll just type. I used to go to Google Chrome on my phone or whatever. I type in Celtic FC and Twitter will be one in the top two. It come up. I click on that. I get to see the lineup for the who's playing. It just doesn't work like that on Edge. It gives you everything else apart from it.
That's an interesting one.
Strange, and I want to look at it next. I want to know what the fuck's going on, but I never did. But listen to this, right? It's got to be 100%. Listen to this, right? So I was on Twitter and this popped up, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So Francis, 3 years ago, Francis Ngannou tweeted, "Been talking with my family and friends in the crypto space. Hashtag Bitcoin with the wee Bitcoin emoji. It's huge in Africa, and I'm thinking about taking half my fight plus in it. Bitcoin is the future, and I'm a believer." At UFC, hashtag UFC 270. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Aye, what
Doesn't
the
he seem
fuck
like
is that even meant to mean?
It doesn't seem like, I don't know if it's a piss take or somebody's hacked his account. It just doesn't seem like somebody you would. It just doesn't seem like something like they would tweet. You know what I mean? It seems like a pure. Seems like a mad tweet, doesn't it?
Aye. I've got a
Weird.
guess for you, mate. See what you think about this, right? Maybe no, because of the kind of broken down relationship between him and the UFC right now. And now they're part of that crypto UFC. That's one of the big sponsors.
Aye.
That could be a push in that direction.
Aye, maybe. That crypto shit's mad though, isn't it? Like NFTs and all that shit.
Do I know something that's mad? Of all the people in the world who would buy crypto, Liam has invested.
Aye.
Aye.
But he's into kind of. I don't know. I don't know if he looks into it, but he talks about investing a lot. But I don't know if he's looked into it. Whatever. But
He's spoken about it forever, but I don't think he's ever done it. But he's got a wee portfolio going. It's got a couple of £100 in it, I think.
there's a game, right? Fuck. What's it called? Somebody was talking about it on the Joe Rogan thing. Can't remember what it is, but it's a daft game, right? It's kind of like Pokemon. You go and you get free, like you kind of get like free Pokemon, right? But you need to buy them with Ethereum, right?
Right.
So like it's like play and earn as you play or whatever.
Okay.
And there's people that in the Philippines, like young people in the Philippines, being basically taking a sale out of poverty by playing this game constantly, earning like Ethereum, and they can. I don't know how they spend that money. I don't know if they transfer or their country accepts that as a fucking payment or whatever. But there's actually pay as you earn games, and there's something sold on that game for like 1.5 million, like a bit of land in the game that's sold for 1.5 million. And see if you want to join it now. So you need 3 of these things to play it. It costs you $1,000 for 3 of them to play it.
Fucking hell, man.
I can't remember what the game's called. Weird as fuck, mate. It's just like a daft wee mobile type game.
Right.
This world is getting strange.
Aye, mate. It's going to leave us behind.
Aye. Mate, I've been thinking about that. I've been going like, man, I'm going to be fucked. I'm going to be one of these mad old cunts that's pure out the loop and doesn't know what's going on and sitting in a wee house with a tin watching the telly, shouting about all these daft ways running about with their fucking headsets on all that.
Aye. See, when I was a boy, never had any of this shit.
I know Finlay definitely going to end up like that.
Oh, he's fucking.
He's done,
not going to catch up. He's not going to catch up. He's behind in the times. He's a man of his own way.
Aye, 100%.
And he likes that, to be honest with you.
That link you sent in about fucking somebody like a mad shop no selling CDs and DVDs anymore, so something like that. That's class, man.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be funny, man. I actually seen it the day before, but I forgot to send it. And then when he mentioned something about the PS2 and putting a DVD in, I thought I need to send that.
Oh, aye, man. Top fucking quality, man.
And I know we were talking about Liam a second ago. I think you in fact, maybe the time you came to the house, Liam was celebrating, talking about fucking he's now ordered a Just Eat for himself and that he can use contactless pay.
Aye. He sent me like a video that I just ordered my first munch and I was just like, what the fuck, man? I was like, welcome to the future, man. Honestly. I don't know how people operate without all this.
I know. But see that attention span thing, man, that's killing me. That I'm feeling it big time.
Aye, mate, I've got it bad, man.
Aye.
Like I tell you about that guy's videos, mate. He changed them to like 2 minutes and I just didn't watch them for a long time because it.
That's funny, mate. That is funny.
I was actually raging.
That's funny, man. It's pure nothing, I know. It's literally nothing.
Like mate, like who I used to do. This is why like I took YouTube off my old phone. I'm going to disable this one again because I find myself in the morning doing it. Like I'll scroll through it and I'll see how long it's on for. And if I think that's an acceptable time to watch a video, I'll stick it on. But what you don't realise is, see if you watch 5 videos that are on for like fucking, just say like 50 seconds or whatever, like that's like 5 minutes away anyway, so you could have watched a 5-minute video that's probably better than that one, or something you might have actually wanted to watch, you know what I mean? But I would rather watch some cunt fucking falling off a ladder or something like that.
Oh man, it's a fucking weird way the brain works, isn't it? There's times
It's,
I'll go like some random shit will come into my head, right? Like this is going to sound morbid, right? But I like war history, so something will
aye.
pop into my head about a war that happened, right? And I'll go, I need to find a documentary on this. I need to know more about this. So I'll fucking troll the internet and I'll find one 2 hour documentary on the fucking second Chechen war, hit it, and I sit down to watch it like in bed or something, and it's like 7 minutes in, and I'm going, nah, I can't be bothered with this, put it off. And then I end up just watching these wee fucking tidbit videos, and it's like unboxing things. It's, oh, what is my head doing to me?
Aye, mate. It's strange, isn't it? Like that podcast, like that 4.5 hour podcast I watched with two of them merged together, mate. I done it start to finish.
Mad.
But there's other things I just can't sit and watch it for 10 minutes.
Aye.
Quite strange.
You ever watched it? You talk about podcasts. Have you ever watched any of the Wim Hof ones?
No, is that Mad Iceman guy?
Iceman, aye. His James English one was pretty interesting. I started doing a wee bit of reading into him and his practices and what he was about and that. And he was
That's the
talking
one.
about his.
On you go.
Sorry, on you go.
That's the one where like the guy's like telling you all the things he's done and overcame like sitting in ice and all this shit, and then James English turns around and goes like, "Aye, mate, I quit the fags in the bevy, innit?"
Aye, that's the one.
That guy's
The
a
comparison to
what?
that.
What a
But there's
comparison.
he's talking about like his life and his relationships and stuff and everything, how he's been since he was young. And
Aye.
he's talking about his wife. I don't know if she's passed away or separated or whatever, but they've got kids. And I'm pretty sure he says something like they only had sexual intercourse 10 times in the entire relationship they had.
What? Aye.
Aye. He's like, we didn't need that. That was love without that.
Aye.
Just a weird take, man. He seems like a very interesting character.
Like I suppose like I don't know, man. Like relationships can be built off of different things. You know what I mean?
Aye. I
But
think
you'd
every
always.
relationship to the next different, isn't it? It just depends who the two
Aye.
people are that are involved in it.
Aye. Like does it? Do you, like obviously sex is like a thing, right? But
Mm-hmm.
does it define a relationship? You know what I mean? Probably does define a lot of people's relationships, and that's probably why they don't last and shit.
Aye. Aye, well, I
Aye.
think it's a weird thing because when if you're with a partner and you're sexually active, then by nature it's something you want. It's like
Aye. But
it
when.
gets you through exactly. Aye, and there's other people that probably, there's people who probably have sex once a month, and for them that's plenty.
Aye.
You never know, man. It's just how people work at the end of the day.
That's it, man. That is it, bro.
But what a fucking interesting topic we've ended up talking about there, man.
Aye, it's fucking strange, isn't it? But I enjoy the fucking talk, you know what I mean? But like,
Aye, same here.
somebody clicks on this, they're like, these fucking boys are off the head, man.
Yeah, these two Scottish cunts.
We try to we try to base it around UFC, and we go on a mad tangent, and then we talk about UFC, and then it's like just mad shit.
Can't always be about UFC.
That's true. If there's not a lot of things happening, though, there's no been UFC for a couple of weeks, and then on top of that, it's a good. Well, I'm not going to say a good card, but it's like a kind of it's a run of the mill fight night card that might have a title eliminator or a fight before a title eliminator or whatever. You know what I mean? But we could always talk about this one next week, and then the big one.
Why? There's a couple of big ones forthcoming, to be honest with you, mate. So let's just get back to. I know we chucked it. We done one just before Christmas, and we said we'd leave it. So will we just get back to doing them as and when a week at a time?
I'm down. I'm down for a weekly, man. Can you hear Bear barking at the door? He wants in.
No, can't hear him.
You don't like that. Off.
No.
Off.
He's that way. The mic's not picking him up.
I've got installed the NVIDIA broadcast at fucking. Which is shite, man. You need a 20 series graphic card to get it or whatever, man. And it like you can it's Brit shit, and then you can make sure like the background sound and all comes in.
So you do a wee bit of fine tuning with it then.
Aye. Yeah, buddy.
That's cool.
So next Friday.
Next Friday,
same time.
Big UFC 270.
We'll try and talk a lot of shit.
Aye. Well, we can still talk shit. We'll get the nitty gritty. At least we'll be able to recap a fight card and then talk about this one. So there's going to be more content in relation to the fights they talk about.
Aye, definitely.
I think we've got the fucking entire country listening to us or anything like that, but at the end of the day, that's the reason we've set this up, isn't it?
Aye, definitely. Let's get it. Get it. Maybe ready to ball out.
Let's do it.
Ready to ball out. Right, if you actually listen to this and stay to this to the end, Well played. If you didn't, fuck you. Because you'll know him saying fuck you anyway,
Exactly.
so it's all
It's
good.
not going to be. It's not going to be a slander. You need to leave it.
I am out. Peace out, brother.
Right, mate. Catch you.
Ciao.